Hey there, it's Dr. Ashley Southard here, coming to you from Scottsdale, Arizona with my final Way Out Wednesday of 2017. I'm with a New Beginning Outpatient Treatment Center and the Healthy Way Out Emotional and Binge Eating Program. Now, how many of you are in the post-holiday slump, feeling emotionally and physically drained from all the parties and get-togethers, maybe recovering from some distressing get-togethers, faced with all the bills from your gift giving and celebrating, and starting to get back into your monotonous schedule, right? And it is during this time of year that a lot of people start thinking about their New Year's diet, looking for the next shiny, promising diet that is sure to give you big results really quickly. Now, this can be really tempting to look for this diet right about now, because you've probably just come off of several weeks, maybe even a couple of months, of eating more than normal, eating foods that are different than normal. You've probably had a lot of holiday goodies around. You gave yourself permission to not really care, not think about it, and here you are feeling saturated, maybe feeling out of control, and wanting that diet to help you get back on the wagon, help you get back in control, right? So you're spending the next few days planning, thinking about what you're going to do come January 1st. Now remember, planning and thinking about making changes is a lot easier and a lot more exciting than actually implementing those changes. So just remember that right now, while it's very hopeful and exciting, all of that will probably change a few years into the new year when these changes you're trying to make get really hard and they're not so fun. So let's talk about why diets don't actually work and why it's a really bad idea to start your new year off with the next shiny diet. Did you know that 95% of all dieters will eventually, quote unquote, fall off the wagon, if you will, stop the diet, and not only will they regain the weight that they lost, but they will actually regain more weight than when they started on their diet. So by the time you're done dieting, you might weigh more than you do now. There's a 5% success rate. That's it. Imagine going to work and your boss says, hey, by the way, there's only a 5% chance that you're going to get a paycheck in 2 weeks. Not very good odds. Might not compel you to want to show up for the next 2 weeks, right? Well, that's what a diet is doing. It's giving you a 5% chance that you're going to be successful on this. Not very good odds. So let's talk about why diets don't work. Well, most importantly, they don't work because they're inherently flawed. Diets assume that the problem is food and eating. Therefore, the solution must be focused on food and eating. But here's the secret. Emotional and binge eating is not a food problem. It's an emotional issue, hence the name emotional eating. You're not eating because you're hungry. You're not eating because you don't know what else to eat, right? You are eating because there are emotions that are driving you into the kitchen that you don't know how to deal with, and you're turning to food for comfort and security, okay? You're turning to food to help you cope with emotions because you don't know another way to cope with it. Of course, it makes perfect sense that you would do that. But if that's the reason why you're overeating, the solution cannot be focused on food because this isn't a food problem. So diets are inherently flawed in that they assume the problem is food when it's not, okay? So if the problem is an emotional issue, then the solution also must be an emotional solution, right? Now, the other reason in which diets don't work is that they actually contribute to more binging. Diets are deprivation-based, okay? They take away the things that you want. They tell you that certain foods are bad, that you can't have them. And the natural human knee-jerk reaction when we're told we can't have something, of course, we want it that much more. If we're told to not think about something, we actually think about it more. So if you're told to not think about sugar, don't want sugar, guess what? You actually are going to think about it more and you're actually going to want it more. So there's another reason diets don't work, is they actually contribute to more binging later on. You can deprive yourself for a while, but eventually all of that pent up wanting and craving and desiring will take over. And in a moment when your emotions are really strong, you will probably find yourself binging and kind of making up for lost time when you were dieting. So dieting actually can contribute to binging. Binging then contributes to the desire to get back in control and diet. The dieting then contributes to binging, and round and round and round you go in this diet binge cycle. So what we want to do instead of starting January 1st with a new diet is we want to actually start the new year with a new approach. Emotional and binge eating is an emotional issue. So the solution has to be focused on what are you feeling? Where are you feeling it in your body? What are you doing in response to that feeling? You can't ignore it. You can't deny it. You can't stuff it down literally and figuratively. You have to feel the feeling, you have to respond to the feeling, and you have to take care of yourself. You have to get your needs met. You have to nurture yourself when you're feeling that way. If you haven't yet watched my Way Out Wednesday videos from November, I really encourage you to go back and watch those because I talk about different emotions that can trigger emotional and binge eating and what to do with those emotions. You have to develop an emotional roadmap within yourself so that you can start to deal with those emotions differently. And if you're really not sure how to do that, that's okay. That's really normal. That's where I would encourage you to start working with a counselor, a mental health professional who can help you explore what you're feeling. You have to know what that feels like, where you feel it in your body, and then start to learn what is it that you need to respond to that emotion. When you respond to your emotions in a healthy way, you won't need to turn to food. And if you're not turning to food in an out of control way, guess what? You don't need a diet to get you back in control. And if you're not dieting, you're not setting yourself up for more binging. It's a beautiful thing. So address your emotional eating with an emotional solution. Go back and watch our videos from November. Check out our website, thehealthywayout.com. We have some great information on there about emotional eating. And treat yourself to working with a therapist who can really help you explore your personal emotional landscape. Okay? So please commit to 2018, a new year, a new approach. Don't start this beautiful, promising new year with another stale diet that has a 5% success rate that is sure to let you down by February and have you questioning, what's wrong with me? There is nothing wrong with you. It's everything wrong with the diet. Okay? So I will be back here in 2018. You will not be on a diet, right? And we will be talking about some new issues related to emotional and binge eating that hopefully will help you find true, lasting freedom from food. Until then, have a safe and very joyful new year. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.